Dear student, good morning and welcome back to VLSI System Design Theory course. We were discussing about the various logic design, and especially in the last time we were also talking about the sequential circuits, especially flip-flop latches. So just a few of them is still remaining. I will discuss, and then we will switch to the CMOS inverter design, which is related to module 3. So just quickly we can come to these diagrams. Like first design I have discussed the SR latch. So if NOR base, I'm not going to discuss all these tables because here design NOR based. If gate level circuit you see, then NOR based SR latch is designed here. One NOR, other NOR. So we know that how to design NOR gate using CMOS logic, static CMOS logic. So for designing NOR gate, two NMOS transistors for the pull down network are taken in parallel and two PMOS transistors in the series. And since there is some feedback here, some Q is given, output of this one is given to this input of the one of the NOR, and Q bar is given to the input of the other NOR. So two NOR we are taking, one for the S input set and other for the reset. And second input for this second input for these NORs are coming from as an output of the others. So like here for the reset NOR, output is given the name Q. So state is given name Q. This Q is coming to the input of the other side of NMOS, this NMOS and other PMOS. And this S is given to this PMOS and this NMOS. And similarly, other input from the here, whatever output is coming from this NOR, this is given as an input for this left side and MOSFET to the second NOR and this PMOS. So in this way it is designed, and similar way we can apply logic for the NAND gate based if NAND gate based SR latch you are designing. So gate level diagram is given here, and NAND gate how it is designed, we know that NAND gate, for designing NAND gate we need two NAND gates. So two NAND gate CMOS based two NAND gates are used here. We know that for making a NAND gate in the pull down network, two NMOS transistors are taken in series, and in the pull up network two and two PMOS transistors are taken in parallel. Similarly for the other NAND gate also, and this side you are giving set, other side you are giving reset input, suppose. So according to this logic diagram, we can see that when you are giving set to which NAND gate, its output is Q. For the NAND gate for which reset input is given, its output is Q bar. So this one is giving Q output. Here we are giving the name notation Q, and it will be going, this Q will be going as input of the other NAND gate input. So this is going as input of this other transistor, other NMOS transistor, and also one PMOS. And similarly for this output of this NAND gate, Q bar is coming to this means other NMOS and one PMOS. So the same way it is designed. Further we can go to some more complexity, like design clocked latch. So clocked SR latch, like here clocked SR latch. Similarly, clocked SR latch, it is based on the NOR gate, but also it is possible to make clocked SR latch on the NAND, and based on NAND gate also. So it is just explain one example, like this SR latch, it is modified. This SR latch which we have here seen, it is in at the input some clocks are also given, and clock is ended with S, and also clock is ended with R. So therefore AND gate is also taken. So logic means gate level design, we can see S is means S and clock. This is given to this NOR gate, and R and clock is given to the this NOR gate as one input. Other input is coming as usual as in previous case. This Q is going to this NOR gate as another input. This Q bar is coming to the this NOR gate as another input. So the same thing we can design here, means whatever previous design we know that this R set and reset. So this R was means this NOR gate was designed that we are taking two NMOS transistors in parallel and two PMOS transistors two PMOS transistors in series. This one and this one in series. This one and this one in series, and this one and this one in parallel. But additional means ANDing of the R with clock is also required. So R is ANDed with clock. So one and another NMOS transistor is taken in series with this transistor, so that R and clock can be possible. And this same R is given to this one also, obviously. And whatever you are taking here, clock you are taking in the parallel, sorry, in series. Therefore the in dual network it will be, because it is R and clock are given here in series. Here in the pull up network, this clock is given in parallel. Instead of whatever R you are connecting here with is two NMOS transistors we are connecting for the making it and function. R and clock you are making here, but here they are connected in parallel. So this R is given to one of the PMOS input, and the clock is given to other PMOS input, but these two transistors are in parallel. And the other transistor, this one and this one in series, it was without any clock. This transistor and this transistor, only the two transistors were there. But because here you are adding clock, so in pull-up network also clock is added, but it is in parallel. And the similar situation here we can see other NOR gate is there. Other NOR gate for set input. So this NMOS and this NMOS both are in parallel. In the series of this transistor, another NMOS transistor for making the AND function of S and clock. So S and clock is made here, and this PMOS and this PMOS in the pull-up network they were in series, because here these two transistors are in parallel. Pointer, let me take. So these two transistors are in parallel, and here this transistor and this transistor in series pull-up network. Actual pull-up network was like that, but after adding the clock, because you are adding the clock here in series, another transistor is taken in parallel to this one to make a to give the sorry, this transistor and this transistors were already there, and this is additional transistor for making a parallel connection for the clock. So here additional transistor this side also for making clock, and here also. So in this way this modified design, which is this is gate level design, this same thing is implemented in CMOS static CMOS logic. And this is further means it can be modified. We can see more modifications can be seen, like design of clock JK flip flop. So its diagram we can see from the previous diagram how it is different. This diagram we can see here feedback is coming from output is there, some another input is not only clock and R, some input is coming from here also, and some input is coming from here also. Here the three inputs are there, so that type of modification we can see here. This and function has two inputs, that is Q is coming from here to this one, and K is given, and also clock. So ANDing of Q, K and clock for the Q, this for implementing this one, and means ANDing of Q, K and clock, and then in the parallel then another input is coming, that is Q bar, which is given here. So ANDing of Q, K, CLK plus Q bar, and then whole bar we can see. So because it is NOR gate, so whole bar. So how input is given, because whatever you are giving input to this NOR gate, it is basically this R is basically coming as a AND function of the Q, K and clock, and in parallel there is another input, that is Q bar. So therefore Q is R plus Q bar, and R is defined as R is equal to Q and K and clock, and in parallel there is another input Q bar. So all the means there is R function of Q bar and whole bar, because it is NOR, so output is complemented form. Similarly for Q bar implementation we can see that for Q is basically Q is R, then plus, we can say for R plus Q bar and whole bar, R plus Q bar whole bar, and similarly this Q bar is S plus Q whole bar. So S plus Q whole bar, and Q is defined as it is coming from one input coming from Q bar, and then other input is J, other input is clock. So it is Q and K. Sorry, here Q bar and J and clock, and this is basically S, and then R function of Q also whole bar. So by defining these Boolean functions in terms of this Boolean function, Q bar and Q are defined, then we can easily design, because for designing, suppose you are designing Q, so you require, because 3 and you are doing ANDing between Q, K and CLK, so 3 transistors are required in series for this AND function implementation, and another transistor is required for making connecting Q bar in parallel. So this Q can be implemented by taking 3 NMOS transistors in series and in parallel to all these 3 Q bar and another NMOS transistor for the pull down network, because bar is gone during the pull down network. We will take complement of this, then it will be Q and K and CLK and plus Q bar. So this function will be implemented by help of 3 NMOS transistors in series and one other NMOS transistor in parallel. And similarly for this one also, 3 NMOS transistors in series for ANDing function of Q, R, J and CLK, another transistor NMOS transistor in parallel for R function of Q with this. So it is done here, we can see. Here we can see here J side, here K side. So how we can see for the K side, what is the requirement? Q should be given as input. Q is the output of one of the NOR gate. So Q and K and CLK, and then R function of the Q bar. So this is K, one transistor. This is CLK, other transistor, and in series other transistor also there, which is taking Q as input for this one. Q as input for this one, we can see where Q is coming from this. So this Q is given, and is basically ending up Q, CLK and K. This is done, and in parallel another transistor is required, which will be doing R function of the Q bar. So Q bar is taken from here. Q bar is taken from other NOR gate output. Other NOR gate output is giving Q bar as a output. So it is taken from here, and it is given here input at the means fourth NMOS transistor, which is in parallel to all this. And basically Q is output of this one, same NOR gate. So this is taken from the same NOR gate Q, but Q bar is coming from the other NOR gate. So Q bar is taken from other NOR gate, then it is given here to this NMOS, and also because it is here in parallel, then in the upper side network it should be also there in series with other terms. So other terms like K, CLK and this Q, they are implemented in parallel because here they were in series. So this is K and this is Q and this is CLK. So K, Q, CLK, they are in pull up network in parallel, and in series with all these. This is another transistor, PMOS transistor, to make a dual network. So this part is complete in this way, and similarly this right side and right side also we can complete that. For Q bar we need J, K, J, CLK and Q bar. It's ending, and then R function of the another R function will be implemented by this transistor, where J and CLK and Q bar, then R of the this one R of the you are taking R Q bar R of Q. So Q is required. So Q is required here. Q is there. Q is taken here directly, and then obviously there will be also dual network. So dual network will be JK, and here you are giving the Q, but here you have taken JK, JCLK and Q bar. Q bar was the output of the same NOR gate Q bar. So this JK, JCLK and Q bar, they were in series here, and now here they are in parallel. Basically J, this is J, and this is Q bar, and then CLK. They are in series, sorry, in parallel, and in series to them, this output of this one Q is also there. So in this way, in CMOS logic implementation, it is possible. And also this D flip flop, JK flip flop is modified. You can see JK flip flop here. We can see design. In JK flip flop, what we do, we connect an inverter between J and K, and we consider D input means the direct whatever input directly given to J, that is D input, and when it is inverted with the inverter and it is given to other input, then it is called though it is not means directly not available to give the input, only from D and invert it and connect it to K. So JK between J and K there is a inverter connected, then it becomes D flip flop. So this is passing when clock is present, and it is not passing when clock is not zero. So that type of design is possible. D flip flop. This one we can see here. As here JK flip flop already we have designed this one. This we will connect here from here. We will come to here, and we will connect one inverter and to this one. So D is directly input given here. It will be, suppose we are making this J as whatever input given to J, that is D. From here we are taking a connection, and here one inverter is connected, and then it is its output is given to K. This modification we will do, then it will become D flip flop. So like here, all these parts already in JK you have designed. Now from this D, another connection is coming, and it is connected here through some inverter circuit, CMOS inverter circuit, and that output is given to this K input. Rest of the circuits are same as JK flip flop. Then CMOS implementation of the flip flop is possible now. And similarly, transmission gate based, we can go to transmission gate based flip flop design, like here, like D latch. This D latch with the help of transmission gate, like D here, very simply we can see that D 0, then output Q1 plus 1 is 0, and it is D is given 1, then it is Qn plus 1 state is 1. So basically in the transmission gate we take means PMOS and MOS both. So for NMOS this is clock, and for PMOS clock bar, and D is given. So D into clock will be coming out here. So basically it is suppose whatever state, and then it is inverted, then it is giving Q bar, further inverted, then it is giving Q, and from here again feedback is given. So simply D flip flop also, and here means clock, and here clock bar. And another modification can be done, that means a master slave. So whatever this design, this first part you have designed, then another similar design, and the clock is basically its clock is controlled basically like here. The master slave means further it is modified in terms of master slave. So one is master first, suppose this design, and another slave design also it is there. So master CMOS S triggered master slave D flip flop is designed. So this part is first part of D flip flop, and another part also output of this one is given to this transmission gate, and then another inverter here. First part one transmission gate, another inverter, and then other inverter here, QM bar, and here QM. Then this is given to input of this one transmission gate, other inverter. Suppose it is QS bar, and this one is QS. Then this feedback is given here. Here this feedback is given. So all these are just little modifications are done. Then CMOS, STK, and master slave feedback, and other logic already I have discussed. So now it is over. I think I am now switching to the CMOS inverter design. So I will share other slide and I will discuss about CMOS inverter. I am again coming to CMOS inverter. Some basics will be discussed, noise margin and all. Then we will go to the means more complex things. How to calculate noise margin, delay, etc. We will discuss. From VTC plot, we will start our discussion today. Again, though we have discussed already, but again we will come to that one, and then we will come to other part. So let me share this one. Also, your means digital assignment one is due on 4th by 4th of April. You can complete it, and it is uploaded in already in VTOP, and so it is uploaded in the MS Teams. So 10 questions you have to do in section 1. 10 questions you have to complete and upload for 10 questions all the answers. Also extra questions are there, but for that I am not asking to upload anything. You can study that those questions also you can study. Even for extra questions already answers are many questions answers are given, but for initial 10 questions no answer is given. You have to solve it and upload. So let us start with CMOS inverter related points. Already shared the slide. Are you able to see the VTC plot of CMOS inverter in the PPT? Hello, I have shared the new slide. Dear students, are you able to see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I can move. Again, coming back to the CMOS inverter, which is major part of the unit 3. Basically, module 3, mostly CMOS inverter, DC characteristics and all transient characteristics and capacitance related parameters, delay and all other things, performance parameters we have to discuss. Also power dissipation. So all these will be discussed. I will regenerate the interest in the CMOS inverter. I will start with the basics. So suppose this plot we are seeing in CMOS inverter also we have plotted, we have seen. So VOH, VOL, and also if some negative slope point is here, from here we drop a perpendicular some VIL, other negative slope point is here, from here we drop VIH. So VIL, VIH also if you plot V in equal to V out, it is cutting here somewhere in between. So that point also it is called switching threshold. From here whatever input that input is called switching input, that input is called switching threshold, or it is almost for the general means ideal inverter. Even CMOS inverter generally it comes around VDD by 2, but it depends on design. If you change the parameters then it can be changed also. So few terminologies like VOH, VOL, VIH, VIL, all these terms we have to again understand and then find out the noise margin. In experiment also I have told that in CMOS inverter is using VTC plot you have to find the noise margin. So noise margin calculation, to understand noise margin calculation again it is very much required that how to calculate VOH, VOL we should understand. First we should understand the meaning, and then we should calculate. How to calculate, calculation is easy, but we should also understand what is the meaning. So VOH and VOL, basically as name suggests, VOH is output high voltage and VOL is output low voltage. So represents high and low output voltages for the inverter. Like here it is maximum output voltage, high voltage, which is means it is swinging. Output is swinging between VOL and VOH. So minimum voltage which is coming, that is VOL, and maximum. So the swinging output, if you plot VTC plot on the y-axis V out, on x-axis V in, then output switches between VOL and VOH. So the maximum which you are getting, that is VOH, and minimum voltage which you are getting, that is VOL. So this is the different, means main important point, that, and when VOH you are getting, then input will be 0. So one another definition we can say that when input is 0, input is logic low, then what is the maximum output voltage you are getting, that is VOH. And also when input is logic high means VDD. We are providing the maximum input, that is VDD, maximum input which is equal to the maximum supply voltage of the circuit, that is VDD. So when you are giving input equal to VDD, at that time whatever output you are getting, that is called VOL. So this is the basic definition of the VOH and VOL. And in case of CMOS inverter, VOH is VDD, VOH is coming exactly VDD, and VOL comes 0. So this is the one important point. And other important points like switching threshold, it is coming VM or VTH also sometimes we say. If you plot V out, equal to V in this line, when it is cutting, wherever it is cutting, that may be the midpoint. So it is VDD, VOH is VDD, then this point if you see, it will be in mid between that. And from here you drop the perpendicular on x-axis. So whatever value of input voltage you are getting, that is basically switching threshold or threshold of this circuit, inverter circuit. So when V out equal to V in this line is cutting, this is deciding the point at which switching threshold we can find out. So this is also one important point. Other important points are for calculation of noise margin, also we need VIL and VIH. So VIL and VIH from this plot we can understand. In CMOS inverter, if it is VOH, this is maximum output voltage, and if it is minimum voltage, it is generally 0. And this is switching. Initially it is output is high, but after that, after certain, if you are increasing the input voltage, then after some value, its output is switching from high to low. So when it is switching from high to low, there is a first point where slope becomes negative. Slope means dV out by dV in. Change rate of change of output voltage divided by rate of change of or change of output voltage divided by change of input voltage, that we can say. So rate of dV out by dV in, this is becoming this is giving the value -1 here. And also another point, again second point we get here also we get the same thing, dV out by dV in equal to -1. So negative slope points we are getting. So first negative slope point when we are getting, you drop perpendicular from this, and where it is cutting on x-axis, so it will decide the input low voltage. And in this, from the second point, second negative slope point, you are dropping the perpendicular, it will decide the input high voltage VIH. So VIL and VIH will be defined by these two points by dropping perpendicular from the first negative slope point and then second negative slope point in VTC plot. And then we say that VIL will, is deciding, and VOH is deciding that gain is where gain is less than 1. If you are in this region, let me take a pointer. If you are in this region below VIL or you are above VIH, either you are above VIH or you are below VIL, then gain is not is less than 1. But if you are between VIL and VIH, then gain is more than 1. So this portion is not suitable for using this type of basically especially digital application. It may be useful for application for amplification, because gain is more than 1. So between VIH and VIL, if your input is in between VIH and VIL, then gain is more than 1. dV out by dV in is more than 1. But at this point, dV in by dV out is -1. Here also -1. And if you are going above VIH, input voltage is above VIH, then gain is negative, means gain is less than minus, gain is less than 1, and also if we, input is also less than VIL, then also gain is less than 1. So these are the important regions which will be used for the switching applications and logic applications. And VIH, VIL, if we know, then we can also calculate noise margin. Noise margin is very important parameter, which basically noise margin is measure of the robustness of the inverter, how robust it is to noise. And like here one inverter, then some interconnect, then other inverter you are connecting, interconnect, it may add some noise, so it will affect the performance. But if we study, like here VOH is high state, and input VOH is output voltage, and we input voltage at that time difference between VOH, which we have defined, and between IH, VIH, this defines noise margin high. So because output is switching between here VOH and VOL, it is switching between this one. VOL is there, then it is treated as the logic 0. VOH is there, the logic high, and logic high is logic low. At the output we are considering here, means this is maximum output voltage and this is minimum output voltage at the output side. And at input side also two parameters we have defined, VIH and VIL. So we have defined these parameters already, and then we can calculate noise margin high and noise margin low. And NMHL, that is VIL minus VOL, and NMH high, VOH minus VIH. Here we can see, here this one, this difference between VOH and VIH is NMH noise margin high, and difference between VIL and VOL, it is NML. So this is from this diagram also clear that noise margin we can calculate high and low, both the cases. And this portion is forbidden, this portion is useful, this one is useful for this inverter, but this portion is forbidden here. So these are the basic parameters of the CMOS inverter, which will be calculated in experiment also. By plotting BTC plot, you have to identify VIH, VIL, VOH, VOL, and then take difference for NML, VIL minus VOL, and for MH and NMH, VOH minus VIH. So these differences you should find out, and noise margin you will calculate from BTC plot. Also you will calculate delay from the output plot, so delay from the transient characteristics, that I will also discuss. So also this VIH and VIL also we should understand in other way, that VIL, this is VIL. So from 0 to VIL, whatever input you are applying here, for that you are getting output high, output high at the inverter. So you are getting output high means largest input voltage which is recognized as 0, logic 0. So this is VIL is also from this diagram we can understand that VIL is largest input voltage which is recognized as logic 0. So when input in CMOS inverter, when input is from 0 to VIL, this CMOS inverter will recognize these values as logic 0, and it will invert from 0 to 1. It will try to make it high, it will try to make the output high. And similarly from VIH to VDD. So VIH is the minimum input voltage which is treated as logic high, because if you are giving logic high at input, then it will try to make the output low. So here we can see from VIH to VDD output is low, you are getting output low. So VIH is also another parameter. VIH is also called input high voltage, or we can say from VIH to VDD, when you are applying input voltage, the inverter is treating it as logic high, therefore it is inverting the voltage and making output as low. So if you are applying any voltage between VIH and VDD, it will be treated as input high, or high means logic high at input, and therefore output will be low. So this is the minimum, VIH is the minimum input voltage which is treated as logic high, and VIL is the largest input voltage which is treated as logic low. VIL is largest input voltage which is treated as logic low, and VIH is the minimum input voltage or minimum input voltage that may be treated as logic high, or smallest, we can say smallest input voltage that can be treated as logic high. So these are the few important points, and slope points also we have understood now. Now let us come to the delay. As in your experiment also, in CMOS inverter experiment also, you have to find out the delay. So delay, how you will calculate? Suppose this is the input pulse and this is the output pulse which you are getting. So delay you can calculate by calculating two parameters, TPHL and TPLH. So first you have to see that when output is coming from high to low, when output is coming from high to low, then come to the 50% point, like this is the VDD or VOH is equal to VDD. This is the maximum point. This is the VOL is 0 point, and we in between some half VDD by 2. So at VDD by 2, when inverter output is coming from high to low, so at this point what is the time that is suppose denoted by T1, and when it, and at the same in the same scale, if you plot at that time, this input will be going from low to high. When output is going from high to low, input will be going from low to high, and in that case also 50% point VDD by 2 when you are coming down up to VDD by 2. What is the time that is suppose denoted by T naught? So difference between T1 minus T naught, it is called TPHL, because inverter output is going from high to low. This is why HL suffix is applied, and HL means propagation. P denotes propagation delay when inverter output is coming from high to low. TPHL it is called, and T1 minus T naught. Similarly, TPLH also we can define. TPLH means propagation delay when low to high. So propagation delay when low to high, 50% point you are connecting when output is going from low to high. At that same situation, input may be coming from high to low. So this point is giving T2 and this point is suppose giving T3. So T3 minus T2, it is defining TPLH. So total means actual propagation delay will be average of these two, TPLH plus TPHL divided by 2. So propagation delay is taken as an average, because at the when output is coming from high to low, then some delay, and when output is going from low to high, then some delay. So it's both are added and then divided by 2. Then it is called propagation delay. This much propagation delay will be possible in the circuit. So also rise time, fall time also we define. Rise time, fall time also, as in experiment we are giving some value rise time, fall time. We should understand what is rise time, fall time. So rise time, fall time, here TF is defined as T1 minus T naught. This is fall time because this pulse is going from high to low. This is why it is falling. So this pulse is falling from high to low. So when it is falling from high to low, so we can see 90% point amplitude at 90%, and then it is coming to 10%. So difference between the time difference between this 90% point and 10% point, it is called fall time. Similarly, when it is rising, when it is falling, then difference between 90% point and 10% point, it is fall time. When pulse is rising, then difference between this 90% point and 10% point is called rise time. So T3 minus T2 is rise time, and T1 minus T0 is fall time. So T rise and T fall also we can calculate from the even CMOS inverter also. In the case of output voltage output the pulse which you are giving during the transient simulation, how much rise time, fall time, that also we can calculate from the transient characteristics plot. So these are the points, basic points, and then let us come to inverter, main inverter circuit again. So CMOS inverter circuit, this is the circuit, and quickly we can see this is the Like, let us take a pen. Many times this symbol is treated as a line. Many notations, this BDD is considered as a line. So BDD means a line we show. This type of symbol somewhere it is there, but this BDD means this is a line. So this line is there. So this is ground and this is BDD. So PMOS is connected in upper side pull-up network, and NMOS is connected in pull-down network. And the drain, both drains are connected common. They are common, and from that in between the output is taken. And this is source of the PMOS. This is gate of the PMOS. This is gate of NMOS. This is drain of NMOS. This is source of NMOS. And we know that input is VGSN. This is basically whatever input you are applying, that is basically coming as a VGSN, because between this point and between the ground, no any other changes. So here you are applying V in, and at ground 0. So difference between VG and VS is VGS, and which is equal to V in. Also input voltage for the PMOS we can consider that is between the gate and between the source. So because source is already connected to BDD and gate is given V in, so difference between these two will be input voltage. That means VGS and VGSP. VGSP will be equal to V in minus VDD. Similarly, output of this one is taken from here, and source is having voltage VDD. So whatever V out you are getting, that is basically VDSP. Means the drain drop between drain and source. If you have to calculate VDSP, it is V out minus VDD. And similarly, we are here drop between drain and source of the NMOS is VDSN is the V out. So all these are required, and for the for NMOS to be either in linear region or in saturation region, at least V in should be greater than threshold input voltage, because V in is equal to VGSN. So VGSN should be greater than threshold voltage of NMOS. And for the cutoff region, V in should be less than VTN. And then for the PMOS transistor also, we know that because VGSP is not exactly V in, it is VGSP is basically V in minus VDD. So therefore V in minus VDD, and it is just opposite complement of the whatever NMOS conditions. It's complementary conditions for PMOS. So VGSP means V in minus VDD. It should be greater than VTP. Here it was for cutoff region, it was this should be less than VTN, but here the opposite condition, V in minus VDD is a VGSP basically. VGSP should be greater than VTP, then it is cutoff condition. And V in minus VDD, further it can be solved that VDD can be taken this side, right side. So V in is greater than VDD plus VTP. Similarly, for the linear region, obviously for cutoff it is the condition, but for the transistor to become on, this symbol whatever it is greater, this will be made as less than. So the cutoff conditions, whatever conditions are there, just opposite of that will make the transistor on. So V in minus VDD is less than VTP, then it will become on. And on condition has two parts, that is linear region and saturation region. So in linear region, VDS means V out minus VDD. VDSP means V out minus VDD. It should be greater than VGSP minus VTP. Then it is in linear region. VGSP is basically V in minus VDD. So VGSP minus VTP we can write now V in minus VDD minus VTP. Or simply the VDD is taken, both sides VDD is cancelled out, then it simply becomes V out should be greater than V in minus VTP, then this PMOS transistor will be in linear region. For the PMOS transistor, V out should be greater than V in minus VTP. Similarly, for the saturation region, V out should be less than V in minus VTP. So these are the conditions which must be considered, and according to this, this is the VTC plot. So we have already seen, but again repeating, this is the VTC plot. We are able to see that VOH is equal to VDD and VOL is just 0, which is VOL is basically 0, and their plot is divided in different parts: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and oh sorry, no need of writing. So take a pointer again. So we can see this line from 0 to this one, V in equal to V out, and this line VTP. VTP is negative for PMOS transistor. This is the threshold. What is VTP from VTP? So when we are plotting V out equal to V in minus VTP, V in minus VTP is what? Input voltage to the PMOS. So V out is equal to input voltage to the, V out is equal to VGSP. We can say this line is V out equal to VGSP, and this line is V out. This line is V out equal to V in, and this line is V out equal to this line is V out equal to V in minus VTN, and this one is V in minus VTP. We can, sorry, not GSP. It is V out equal to V in minus VTP, and this one is V out equal to V in minus VTN. So this will decide that this line will decide if below this NMOS transistor will be in saturation, above this NMOS transistor, sorry, below this NMOS transistor will be in linear region, and above this NMOS transistor will be in saturation. Why? Because V out is basically what? V out is VDSP, and V out is VDSP, and if it is more than V in minus VTN, V in minus VTN means VGSN minus VTN. So if it is more than that, then in this region like here or any other region here also, so NMOS should be in saturation, because output voltage is more than V in minus VTN means VGSN minus VTN. If it is more than that, then it becomes saturated. So therefore this line is deciding the boundary, that it is saturated in this region NMOS, and this line is deciding boundary for PMOS. V out equal to V in minus VTP. Then PMOS is basically PMOS is in linear region here in the above this and below this. Below this it is, because negative side makes the PMOS more negative voltage, it becomes saturated. More positive voltage, it becomes linear. So PMOS is becoming saturated below this line, and above this line it is linear region, and NMOS is becoming saturated above this line, and below this line it is in linear region. So various regions are divided, that here we can see here this PMOS is in linear, NMOS in cutoff, here PMOS in linear, NMOS in saturation, here both are saturation, here PMOS in saturation and NMOS in linear, and here NMOS in linear, PMOS cutoff. So all these regions we have decided, V out and VDSN, V in and VGSN, all these relations. Then we have derived that these equations, so we can even leave it. Then later on I have to move to switching this. What are the capacitances? So I will leave it now, but in next time we will discuss these capacitances, different capacitances in the CMOS inverter circuit. This is the PMOS and this is the NMOS. So all kind of capacitances we should consider for considering the delay. So before moving to delay, maybe some discussions on the VIL, VIH, VOL, VIL, VIH, VOL and VOH calculations, and a little more discussion on DC characteristics. After that I will switch to this calculation of capacitances and then the calculation of delay of the CMOS inverter. So let us stop here. So coming to not sharing. Download the test. One minute.
So
1 minute. Yes. 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 You
The
have to leave
capstone marks will be uploaded by when?
by tomorrow. It will be uploaded. It's still when it's not complete, but by tomorrow it will be complete. Everything ready.
Okay.
Yeah. So now ending now.